Do you usually get a good night's sleep?
Nope.
How much would you say you get a night?
Roughly, like 5 to 6 hours, if that.
I usually fall asleep like 10, wake up at like, depends, like for school I wake up at like 6, so 8 hours.
I usually fall asleep at like 2 in the morning because I can't sleep.
8 hours maybe?
3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah, I have insomnia. It's just horrible.
7, 8 hours.
Like 5. On school nights around like 10:30 and wake up around 7:15. So I get like a pretty good amount of sleep.
I won't even say I get a good night's sleep. I only sleep for about 5 hours. Well, that's during school. Since school is out, I mean, I sleep more like 10.
I make sure I get at least 7.5 hours a night.
On the weekends, none. I think we stay up all night and we go to sleep at like 4:30 and wake up at 7. On the weekdays, I go to bed at like, I don't know, 9:30 and wake up at 7.
I went to bed at 6:30 this morning and woke up at 8:30, all right?
Well, on average, would you say you get a lot of sleep or?
No, I get no sleep at all and I function perfectly.
I don't get a lot of sleep. I go to college, so prime drinking hours interferes with sleeping. I get about 3 hours.
I go to sleep pretty late and wake up pretty early. It's just how my body works. I don't know, but I feel pretty good when I wake up. I get about 5 hours of sleep, but it's all right.
5 or 6 hours, 7 hours, 6, 7 hours.
Anywhere from like 3 to 12.
8 to 9.
Sometimes I sleep like 5 hours, and then sometimes it's 9, so, because sometimes I'm watching TV and then playing computer games.
I think I get like 8 hours of sleep. I go to bed pretty early.
On a good night, about maybe 6 to 7 hours. Bad night, maybe like 3 or 4 hours.
I usually get 7.5 or 8.
KidsHealth.com posted a recent study at the University of Holy Cross in Massachusetts, which showed that 85% of teenagers are chronically sleep deprived.
They may even go through the week with as much as a 10-hour sleep deficit.
This kind of sleep loss may trigger emotional problems such as sadness and depression.
It keeps the body from being physically able to re-energize.
WebMD doctors say that if a teenager misses only 1.5 hours of necessary sleep, it can make them up to as 1/3 less alert.
Teachers face classrooms of students, especially during early hours, whose bodies are functioning but whose brains essentially are turned off.
Many of us turn to coffee or soda to stay awake, but studies have shown that caffeine can ultimately make fatigue worse.
So, do we really need sleep? That's what we'll be talking about today. Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Elias.
And this is Real Faith TV.
The amount of hours the teens on the street slept varied, although most of them agreed that they sleep a lot more in the summer.
We'll talk with them a little more later on in the show, as well as meet our studio guests.
But first, let's meet our spotlight guest, Paul. He will tell us about his sleeping patterns.
I think the purpose of sleeping is so a person can relax, forget about all their problems they had through the day, and just give themselves a good rest. I try to, but I usually don't get a good night's sleep. With work and soccer and all these different things I have going on in my life, I usually get about maybe 6 hours of sleep. I don't see much of a difference if I don't get enough sleep. At work, everything that I have to do at work just keeps my mind out of thinking that I'm tired or anything. I get a good breakfast, good lunch. The longest I've gone without sleep is 22 hours. I had to do overnights at work. I was scheduled from 6 to 4 o'clock in the morning. I ended up staying till about 6:30 in the morning. Then I had to go to a parade at 8, so I didn't have enough time to sleep. And then I was at the parade, and then I ended up going to the beach. And then when we came back, I slept from 7 to 9, and I had to be at work again at 10 o'clock at night. I do try to make up for lost sleep on the weekends when I don't work, on a Saturday or a Sunday. But I find it hard sometimes because I have soccer and I have other things to do, so I usually end up getting about maybe 6-7 hours of sleep, even if I try to get make up for the lost sleep. How much sleep young people need these days? I think about maybe between 7 to 8 hours, especially if you go to school and you're involved in after-school activities. Even if you work, I think the right amount of sleep should be about 7 to 8 hours.
You know, he was pretty close, but actually, the average teen needs about 9 hours of sleep per night to fully function.
I didn't know that. I mean, I wish I got that much. I definitely don't. Okay, well, let's see how much sleep our studio guests get.
All right, let's meet them. They are
Leah, Andrew, Kira, Casey, Jordan, and Phil. Phil, wake up. Phil.
5 more minutes.
Phil, you're always sleeping. You gotta get up.
Whoa. Sorry, I must have dozed off there.
You're always sleeping.
I'm not.
Oh, really?
You caught me sleeping once. Doesn't mean I'm always sleeping.
One time?
You sleep with your mouth open.
Okay, so maybe I'm a little sleep deprived.
Okay, now that we're all awake and alert, let's talk about how much sleep each of us get. Do you guys have difficulty falling asleep? And on average, how many hours do you guys get a night?
I sleep pretty well, and I get like 6 to 7 hours. And I know that they say you should get 8, but my body works pretty well with just that.
Yeah, I usually like try to get around 8, during school, especially 8, because, you don't want to go into the next day feeling really tired.
Yeah, I get around 7 hours of sleep, and the later I sleep, I still wake up at the same time. The only time I have difficulty sleeping is when I'm excited for the next day, like Christmas or Thanksgiving, something fun.
I definitely feel the same way. I get about 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night. I wake up pretty early, so I go to bed pretty early.
Yeah, I'm always tired when I wake up. I could sleep 5 hours, 10 hours, sometimes even 12, and I'll still be tired just because, well, I love sleeping.
I definitely sleep like 9 hours a night. Even during the school year, I go to bed at like 9:30. I'm like, okay, bye. So, like, I feel, because if I don't get that much, I'm like really, really tired, yeah.
I wish I could sleep that much. Like during the school year, I have so much homework and things. And I play soccer, so I usually don't get to bed till 10:30, 11. I have to wake up around 6:30, so it's like I don't get enough sleep at all. But during the summer, I get a lot more sleep, luckily.
Yeah, it feels like for me though, like it doesn't really matter how much sleep I get in, but like the later I sleep in, it feels better. So I could go to bed at like 6 and wake up at 10, and I'll feel fully refreshed. But I could go to bed at like 7 at night and wake up at like 5, and I'll be like completely exhausted. So.
Well, sleep is so important because it's the time for our body to rest.
A time to heal from our stress.
And according to the National Sleep Foundation, if sleep is cut short, the body doesn't have time to complete all the phases needed for muscle repair, memory consolidation, and release of hormones regulating growth and appetite.
Wow, I didn't realize you did so many things while you were sleeping.
I know. Even when you do realize that the benefits of sleep, it's difficult to make sure you get the proper amount because of all the obligations and temptations we have to stay awake.
So what keeps you from getting the sleep you need?
That's what we asked the teens on the street.
Shall we check it out?
Getting home late. I guess I stay on the computer a lot. That's terrible, but I do. If I got in a fight with someone that day, or if I did something that I know wasn't truly me, it might keep me up thinking, like, why would I do that?
Hanging out with the friends is one of the big ones, and going out dancing.
Hanging out with friends, probably.
Yeah.
Or school, because you have to wake up early.
Talking on the phone.
Staying up with my brother. Me and my brother joke around and laugh a lot, so yeah. Playing video games, out with my friends somewhere.
They'll probably be drinking a lot of Red Bull and coffee all day,
Well, I play a lot of sports, and sometimes if we have like a big game, I get nervous on like how it's gonna go the next day.
TV maybe take me away from sleep.
Staying up all night, running around, doing crazy stuff.
Are you planning on staying up late tonight for your birthday?
Yeah, actually, I don't think I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. I think I'm gonna stay up all night.
Definitely the internet.
Drinking and being on the computer.
Drinking.
A lot of drinking. A lot of drinking, a lot of studying, a lot of going out.
Not wanting to go to sleep, just sitting around.
Reading books.
I usually watch TV a lot. Staying out too late.
Stress, something that happened, a bad day.
Being on the computer, on the phone, and just whatever's on my mind.
Sometimes when I'm stressed out, like tests, like SATs, I didn't get good sleep. I was really stressed out.
I'll be talking to my friends, or my friends would be over, partying.
Football, basketball, girls.
Yeah, I can attest to the girls' comment. Usually right before I fall asleep, my girlfriend just happens to call as I'm falling asleep. Hi, do you want to talk? Not really, but I will anyway, I guess.
Definitely.
Well, a lot of times, because I'm so busy during the day, the only time I get to do like what I want to do, like watch TV or read or talk to my friends, is late at night. So I don't usually get to sleep so early because I want to have fun.
Yeah, like during the summer, I watch a lot of like TV and stuff, just chill with friends, and then I end up going to bed late. But like during the school year, I think that like homework keeps me awake, you know, projects, you know, if you procrastinate and wait till the last moment.
Normally, I just don't really care about anything. I just fall asleep. But sometimes, like, if I'll be texting somebody and then keep like texting me back, I'm like, okay, we're done here. But that's pretty much it. Like, I'll just fall asleep. I don't really care.
Yeah, like what you say, Andrew. I stayed up to 2 o'clock doing the Spanish report, like 2 pages, because I was watching TV and that was distracting me. Plus the report, so I didn't have no sleep that night.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but when I'm in school, teachers are often waking me up, so that usually keeps me from falling asleep.
Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, I stay up at night watching TV, doing homework, especially during the school year. During the summer, it's a little bit easier to fall asleep, but you know, TV and talking to friends keeps you up.
I usually fall asleep pretty quickly. I don't have trouble getting to sleep at all. But if I ever do go to sleep late, it's usually talking to my boyfriend on the phone because he stays up all night playing video games, so he's never tired until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I like to go to sleep really, really early. In 1758, Benjamin Franklin wrote in Poor Richard's Almanac,
Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that quote. I mean, even though it's a really old one, it definitely still holds true today. And I think that there are a lot of people who can get pretty cranky when they don't get enough sleep.
I know exactly what you mean. Next, let's see if our spotlight guest, Paul, finds that lack of sleep affects his mood.
My sleep, I don't see it, that it affects my mood. Personally, I don't. Maybe other people might see it. Like I mentioned before, with a good breakfast and a good lunch or something, I usually tend to be in a good mood. Work stresses me out a lot more than sleep. So I have a friend of mine. When he comes into work, you can tell he hasn't had enough sleep. He's either cranky, in a bad mood, and he just doesn't want to be there. He wants to go home and sleep. And when he doesn't sleep, you can definitely tell his work performance lags, and he's just not the same person. I think a lot of young people don't understand the importance of sleep. Some of the consequences from not getting enough sleep would be falling asleep while driving. Your grades could suffer. Your personal life and relationships with a boyfriend or a girlfriend could definitely suffer. And in general, yourself, your body would just be tired and everything suffers, and your work habits, and you might end up even losing a job because you don't get the right amount of sleep. I think today culture does not emphasize on sleep being a high priority to teenagers because a lot of people are working 60, 70 hours a week. Teenagers these days more interested in going to parties, staying out late, hanging out with their friends. And we don't think sleep is a high priority, and not all of us know how important it is to sleep.
Paul said his mood isn't really affected when he sleeps. I know for me, when I don't get enough sleep, I'm pretty cranky. And also, in school, if I don't get enough sleep, my performance isn't as good, and I might not score, as high in a test as I would have if I got a good night's sleep. What about you guys? What do you think?
That's like my mom. She says when I don't get enough sleep, I have an evil twin, Anastasia, who comes out, and she's like, Kira, Anastasia's out. Are you tired or are you hungry? And I'm like, oh, I'm tired, Mom. Anastasia's here. So she says I have 2 personalities. So I definitely agree. I get cranky.
See, I'm fine if I don't get enough sleep, but I have a friend who, she doesn't even get angry. It's like, it's not her. Like, she'll just wake up the next day and be like, I'll be like, hey, how are you? And she'll be like, what? What's going on? Like, and that's how she is the whole day. Like, she needs to take an afternoon nap for her to be back to normal.
No, go.
I feel the same way, my mood is affected. When I get tired, I get very quiet, and then if I'm extremely tired, then I don't want to be bothered. I want to just be by myself and take a nap, and then once I do that, I feel better.
I'm mostly fine. I'm never really too grumpy. I'm just kind of really tired in the morning, but I'm never grumpy, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I feel lazy and slow throughout the day. I can't do nothing. I just want to go home and get some sleep.
Before my morning cup of coffee, oh man, stay out of my way. That's my warning. My family knows. They know not to talk to me when I wake up. Even if it's after a nap, just wait like an hour, then come get me for anything.
And that actually leads us right into our next topic. Do you guys find that you need coffee or soda or drinks with caffeine to keep you awake and going throughout the day?
Not at all. I don't drink any caffeine or coffee or any soda or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll have a coffee every once in a while, but I don't drink any energy drinks, because with sports and all, you crash pretty much.
I feel the same way. You know, I don't drink coffee or energy drinks or soda. You know, even my parents growing up, they never drank coffee or anything to keep them going. So I feel like I'm the same way.
Well, I mean, like, have you guys ever heard like adults say like, oh, if I miss one cup of coffee in the morning, I get this like major headache. I guess I just don't want to get into that habit. That's why I don't like.
It happens to me so much. I've grown immune to it to the point where I could fall asleep right after it, but if I don't have it a day, I get a huge headache, and that makes me worse than if I just woke up and I just have to have my cup of coffee.
That's like this girl I know on my lacrosse team. Before like every game, she like has to drink a Monster, like a Red Bull. I'm like, that's bad for you.
Like my math teacher, she goes out like 3 times to the teacher's lounge just to get like a mug of coffee.
It's like baffling. It's like you can't stay up, so caffeine isn't the answer. So I mean, like, what is the answer? Like, you know what I mean?
Sleep.
Okay.
Sleep is the answer.
Okay, relax, relax. We're relaxing now. All right. On a more serious note, sleep or lack of sleep is linked to about 25% of car accidents that involve serious injury or even death.
Well, some studies have shown that the dangers of driving very tired are as serious as the dangers of driving while drunk.
And again, according to the National Sleep Foundation, sleep helps us thrive by contributing to a healthy immune system.
And sleep can also balance our appetites by helping to regulate the levels of the hormones ghrelin and leptin, which play a role in our feelings of hunger and fullness.
So basically in English, that means when we're sleep deprived, we may feel the need to eat more, which can lead to weight gain.
Well, next, Paul tells us that he needs food to fall asleep, and whether he feels an obligation to God to take care of his body by getting enough sleep.
He'll also share with us a story of when he was in Ecuador and his grandmother started a nightly ritual of praying with him before he went to sleep.
I need food to fall asleep, no matter what time it is, usually late at night. If I don't have enough food, if I feel I'm hungry, I need to eat before I fall asleep. After I eat, I usually lay in bed for a half hour and I watch TV. Usually I watch soccer. I believe I do have an obligation to God to take care of my body because He gave me this body to be healthy and enjoy life. And without the right amount of sleep, I'm not going to be able to do that because either I'm going to be too tired or just stressed out because not enough sleep. When I was little, before I came to this country, I used to live in Ecuador. About maybe 4, 5 years old, I used to sleep with my grandma. She taught me that it's important to pray to God, and if you ever have problems, always look for help to Him. Every night before we went to sleep, we prayed for about maybe half hour. After I prayed, it made me feel real safe and felt like I could sleep a lot better and know that after praying, God was there to watch over me and take care of me.
You know, even though Paul said, and I'm sure a lot of people agree, that food helps you sleep at night, it's really not healthy for you because your body has to work extra hard to digest the food, which, you know, makes your body not getting enough rest. So that's not really good.
Plus, Oprah said it's really bad for you on her show. She said, like, you should stop eating, like, 2 hours before you go to bed. So if you go to bed at, like, 9 o'clock, you should stop eating at 7. That's what Oprah said.
I totally don't listen to that. I like go and I have a bowl of cereal or even what leftovers from dinner. I just chug it down and fall asleep.
I remember coming home one time from school, getting a detention slip. I was so scared to show my parents, so I just went upstairs, closed my eyes like super tight, and put the blanket over my face, hoping it would still all go away. I fell asleep for like a few hours, but I woke up. Like that's what helped me go to sleep. Like when I have difficulties, but when I woke up, I got in trouble.
One thing I do to help go to sleep is a lot of times when my head is really busy and I'm thinking a lot of things, I just pick up a book, and it doesn't matter what book, and I'll just turn to like any page and I'll just start reading, and like it kind of clears my head, and then after a few pages I just close it and I go to sleep right away.
Yeah, like when I was younger, I used to read like Garfield and like all those like little comic books like Calvin and Hobbes and stuff, and that helped me go to sleep. But and then I used to also like, my dad used to tell me to do like the times tables and stuff for math and stuff, because you just get so tired of thinking, you just go to sleep.
Yeah,
so that kind of helped.
Yeah, that's with me. Every time I can't fall asleep, I was thinking about my latest math class, and just because I hate math, so it puts me to sleep right away. Because I figured I stayed awake during the math class, so I think I can get away with falling asleep during math right now.
For me, you know, I always sleep with him. This is my bunny, and he helps me fall asleep. But also, at night, I like to lie down and reflect on my day and just think about everything that's happened and think about tomorrow, and that usually helps put me to sleep. It calms me down a lot.
I always I'm really into making playlists on my iPod that are sleeping playlists, and I put it in, and so I don't even get through the first song. I'm out right away. So that just helps calm me down.
Every night I have to put the TV on. I turn the sound down really low so that my mind has to concentrate on the sound, and then it helps me fall asleep.
Yeah, I like to think up stories before going to bed. And then like eventually like I get so into it that I just sort of pass out. And then I wake up and then I write it down and I come up with something new.
All right. Well, author and speaker Matthew Kelly states that the main point about sleep is that you have to know yourself.
Try different approaches to sleeping to find out what you need and what environment is best for you.
Some people need to sleep in a cool or completely dark environment.
Others prefer layers of blankets.
Some people need 7 hours of sleep a night.
But others need 10.
Ultimately, sleep is intended to make us stronger, more vibrant, and more productive.
More loving and more alert individuals.
So then, do we have an obligation to God to keep our bodies healthy by getting the right amount of sleep?
That's what we ask the teens on the street.
Do you think you have an obligation to God to make sure you take care of your body He gave you? Why?
Yeah, because, like, you know, your body's a gift.
I don't know if it's an obligation, but I think that I should. I actually never thought of that, but now that I'm thinking of it, I think so.
I think it's my body, and I think I take care of it well. I don't think I have to owe it to Him for treating it well.
Not really. I think it's like your own decision. So do whatever you want. You only have one life. Make sure it's good.
I take care of my body anyway. Regardless, I have an obligation to myself, and that's as far as it goes.
It's really just an obligation to myself. I mean, I'm not religious that much.
Not really. I don't believe in God.
No,
Why is that?
I don't believe in God, really.
Yeah, because, I mean, your body is a temple. If you harm and the Bible says not to harm your body, so you should take care of your body that you have.
Because He put you on this earth, so you should appreciate that.
Gave you what He gave you, so take care of it. Make the best of it.
Yeah, I guess, just because if God gives us a body and He probably wants us to like maintain it and stuff, so it's just like we should keep ourselves healthy and get enough sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, well, first of all, your body is the temple of the Lord, so you really shouldn't do anything to harm, your body purposely like that. And I feel like by not getting enough sleep, you're harming your body like that. I mean, what do you guys think?
I really agree with that statement. A priest once told me the exact same thing because I told him, like, I don't get a lot of sleep. And he was like, listen, that's where God resides. When you get the Eucharist, that's where God goes. He's in you. So you have to keep that temple strong and healthy.
Like God wants us to be like healthy all the time, and I mean when I pull a bunch of all-nighters in a row, I can actually get sick. Like I get a cold, and that like really hits home for me because they always say like, oh, you need to get sleep. It's bad for you if you don't. But when I actually get sick, I realize like, oh, this isn't right.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. God gave you your body, you should respect it. A lot of people say exercise and eating right, that's the only reason why. That's the only things that you have to do to keep your body strong, when really sleep is really what you need to re-energize yourself and, get your mind thinking straight and clearly.
I think faith is a really important part of sleep altogether. Praying before you go to bed, for me at least, really helps me fall asleep and soothes me and everything like that. So I pray every single night before bed.
Yeah, so do I. I prayed 3 Hail Marys, 1 Our Father. I prayed this prayer I made up, and I prayed this little prayer my mom taught me. Then I pray for the world and peace.
Yeah, I know. Same with me. Like the first thing I'll do when I go to bed, I hop into bed, and then I'll pray, and then I think that really helps you to get a clear mind, and it helps you to have a restful sleep.
Yeah, that's like getting a really good night's sleep is so important because God gave us this life that we have, and we need to respect it, and we need to respect Him, and by doing that, we need to stay healthy, and sleep is definitely a key component of that.
Yeah, when I was younger, I watched the movie and I got really scared. So my mom, she gave me a plaque, and it had a prayer on it, and she was like, read it every night before you go to bed. And it was, Lord, help me to remember that nothing is going to happen to me tonight that you and I together can't handle. And I couldn't go to bed if I didn't say that. Like, it was routine for me, and I still do it even now.
As Christians, we believe that God created us with a purpose and a full life.
Psalm 139 tells us, I am fearfully, wonderfully made.
The Creator made our bodies to be strong, active, and energetic.
He also created them to sleep.
The body gets tired and has a very natural process for renewal.
Sleep is a thing that refreshes us so that we can get up and do all the things that God calls us to do.
How important do you think sleep is to your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being?
We'd like to know. Contact us through our website.
The address is www.realfaithtv.com.
Or you can call us at 609-406-7402.
And we leave you today with this prayer. Lord, help me to take good care of the gifts you have given me.
like my body and my mind.
Give me tools to become responsible for my time and the way I take care of myself.
Help me get good sleep so I may always wake refreshed and full of energy.
Ready to face a new day and new opportunities with love and joy.
Amen. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time on
Real Faith TV. God bless.